Thank you. How many of you are new to the work today, have never done the work or experienced it? Oh, that is amazing. So, so the work is a way to identify and question the judgments that cause all the suffering in the world. Another way of saying that, all the suffering in your life. Ready? So I invite you to close your eyes and recall a situation where you were angry with someone or you were very hurt. Anxiety, maybe you were at work, maybe at home, maybe on a cell phone, maybe face to face with that person that hurt you or made you angry. So the work is meditation. Meditate on that moment in time. And when you have centered in that moment in time, raise your hand, keep your eyes closed, raise your hand, and then lower it. Good. So we're going to continue to meditate on that moment in time. Now begin to identify why you're angry with that person. I'll continue to use the word anger, and you connect with your own emotion that you were experiencing in that situation. Why were you angry? Why were you angry at that person, or hurt, upset? What did they say? What did they do? Why were you angry? Meditating on that situation, that moment in time. When you have identified why you're upset, angry, whatever that emotion is for you in that situation, when you've identified why you're angry, with your eyes closed, raise your hand and then lower it. Wow. Good. Now, see if you can name the emotion. Maybe it's not anger, maybe it is, and you don't have to do it exactly. I just love that you get in touch with your emotions because it's very important that you experience where in your body and in your own way. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Your shoulders, your neck. You just get in touch with that. Okay, so now I invite you to open your eyes, open your folders, locate the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. If you don't have one, raise your hands and we can bring them to you. If you don't have a folder, raise your hands. Now, we just meditated on a moment in time, so you're prepared to fill in statement one, just simply. I was in the kitchen. I saw myself clearly with Paul. And it was about 35 years ago, but mind doesn't care. Boom. Meditating on just that moment in time, okay. So I'm angry at Paul because he won't listen to me. I mean, that was a huge, complex moment. But why, what was it simply when I meditate on that? He wasn't listening to me. And the whole thing was about his health. He had had 4 heart attacks. And he was smoking. I caught him, and he said, no, I wasn't. I could smell it. I could watch him fanning it as I entered the room. But why was I really angry? He wasn't listening to me. I was going, da-da-da-da-da-da. So get very still, close your eyes. Look at statement 1 on the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. And you're prepared to fill just that one in, only statement 1, with what you saw as you meditated on that moment in time, in your own situation. Any questions? Okay, now watch how your egos don't like it. Not me, I wasn't really angry. As I sit in that situation, yeah, I was angry. Yeah, I'm good with it now. But I'm talking about then. I see it. How many of you see an image of how angry I was in that kitchen? Would you raise your hand? Okay, and how many of you have ever eaten a banana? Okay, so where's your proof? Where's your proof? Do you believe everything you think? You saw an image. That was in the past, right? It was an image of the past. That's the only way you could raise your hand. Okay, and where's your proof that you've eaten a banana? You believe there's a past where you couldn't raise your hand, honestly. What is the past? Can you take it out and do something with it? So it's not real, right? It's not real, right? So you're thinking about nothing. And we spend our lives this way in the movie, and then the next time someone they say, you want a banana? When I say, oh yeah, I think I know what I'm talking about. But what is my reference? Nothing. Zero. Less. So most people raise their hands. It looked like everyone did from here, but let's say everyone raised their hands. So we can all image. Anyone who thinks they're thinking can do this work. So you go back in a moment of time. How many of you ate breakfast this morning? Where's your proof? Nothing. Okay, so if you raised your hand, those of you who didn't saw images of you not eating breakfast. Or you would raise your hand if you heard the question and you thought you were being honest. Okay, so the reason I'm sharing this with you is so you can go back to that situation we started with and be comfortable in that situation. So you could, just like the banana, just like breakfast, you can meditate on, anchor in that situation. And even talking to you right now, I can see Paul. He's so upset, and I see this weird woman I called me coming at him, and I can see it. I couldn't see it then. I just saw him as a liar. When I think of him then, when I think of him then, now, I feel so soft with it. Innocent man. Okay, so you have everything you need to fill in statement 1. And again, the reason I shared so much in these last few moments with you is so that you can go back and really see your situation clearly without guilt, without spiritual, arrogance. Just witness, mindfully meditating on that situation. And fill in statement 1. Why was I angry? Why was I so furious with Paul? I was believing my thoughts about Paul and about me. So it just makes sense that I go back to that moment in time, meditate on that situation, and collect the thoughts I was thinking then. Because those thoughts, that was the cause of my anger, not Paul. And I invite you to test that today. No human being has the power to make me angry. I do that. That's mine. I take full responsibility. What I'm thinking and believing about you is the cause of my anger. So this is not a little thing we're doing here this afternoon. We're not just meditating on a moment at a time where we're going to question the thoughts. We're capturing something that was the cause of my anger that we're still believing today, putting on other people and world. So we collect them from them, we identify, we question them, and we see a very different world. Very different world. So let's have fun. Let's continue to be in that situation. Fill in statement 1. Short, simple sentence. How many of you have done that? Would you raise your hands? Good. So now close your eyes, back in that situation. So I'm going back into the kitchen. Go back into your situation. You're on your cell phone or you're texting or you're in the kitchen. Now identify in that situation with that person, what did you want? What did you want from that person? What did you want them to say or do? Meditate on that. Be in it. It's not your spiritual self now. It was you then, and no one angry is sane. What did you want? And when you identify that, fill in statement 2. Read statement 2 and fill it in. Short, simple sentence. I want Paul to listen to me. Oh, yeah. I want Paul to stop smoking. Paul to tell the truth. We're identifying the cause of our anger in any given situation, and today it's the one that you are identifying on your worksheet. How many of you need more time with statement 2? Okay, so close your eyes. Being there now in that situation, to get what you want, what advice would you offer that person? He should, he shouldn't, they should, they shouldn't, she should, she shouldn't. In your situation, what advice would you offer that person in order to get what you want? So make sure the advice is clear, make sure it's possible. Like, I'm not going to say I want Paul should turn cartwheels. You know, he just had his 4th heart attack. To get what I want, what advice would I offer him? He should, he shouldn't. And fill in statement 3. This is one of my favorites. You feel that emotion. In me, it was anger. So feel what yours was. Now, what would it take you? What do you need to be happy? What could that person do, give you, be in that moment in time? What do you need from them to go from that emotion you're feeling all the way to happy? Boom. Just like that. It was in your head. I need him. Okay? What do you need to be happy? And fill in statement 4. Some of you can be spontaneous with this. Some of you are meditators. You can get very still with it. But at whatever experience of mindfulness we have, we can do this. What were your thoughts about that person? Close your eyes. Then, what in that situation, what were your thoughts about that person? Paul is a liar. He doesn't tell the truth. Remember, when you're angry, you're not sane. So don't expect a lot of civility here. Don't be shocked at what your thoughts were. Just be fearless enough to, as you identify them, to put them on paper. Because those thoughts are still running in your life. You believed them then. You're still believing them. Fill in statement 5. And then begin to identify in that situation, what is it about that person or that situation you never wanted to experience again? And fill in statement 6. So, how you doing? Already waking up? How many of you are a little surprised? Not much, huh? What did you notice as you were filling it in? If you stand, we have microphones that we can take to you. Filling this worksheet, what did you become aware of?
Pretty much what you said, that my being focused on a tough moment and being truthful about how I felt at the time and then writing it down was a feeling that I ignored for some time just because it's not pretty.
Yeah.
And but it's true. It actually happened in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's what you were thinking and believing is it's really revealing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and very humbling for some of us. Thank you. Anyone else? What did you yes? If you stand, the mic runners know where to bring the microphone. Thank you for that.
My question is, what if you don't want anything to do with this person ever again, going through this process?
On statement 6, I would say, what do I never want to experience again with that person? I never want to see that person again.
Right. So
ever,
earlier it says what would, in order for you to be happy.
Well, that's statement 5. No, I'm sorry. I'm not
4.
Sorry at all. That's statement 4.
So if nothing, she does whatever make me happy again, and I'm not even open to it.
Well, we're talking about in that situation.
Yeah.
That's not now. That was what you were thinking and believing then.
Okay. You mean, but now I still believe I want nothing whatsoever to do with this person.
And that's for statement 6.
Okay.
That's the thing you never want to experience again.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If you stand, please. Oh, well, no, you don't have to. That's what I love about life. You never have to do anything.
Does this process work if there's been a violation?
For me, yes. And that's an interesting question for me to answer, because before the work, violated. After the work, whoops. But that's
No, but a
just
true,
me.
like, I mean, I don't really want to, I mean, like would you use this in any circumstance?
I wouldn't hesitate, and I haven't.
Even in like the case?
Freedom is our birthright. Annie Mae says, most damn fools are starving to death, and life is a banquet. Anyone else? What did you experience? Yes. So microphone here. Thank you.
So for me, it was very interesting. When I started, it was about the other person, what I hated and what I didn't want them to do. And then when I ended, it was like how I should have not done something. Like I didn't want me to get angry, and I didn't want me to get ever get in that state again.
Yes.
So it's kind of bent from the other person to me in the end.
Yes, and we can all relate to that. But look at the thoughts you were believing. That's what you've written on the sheet. When you consider the thoughts you were believing, how could you not be angry? Not possible. Yes. If you stand, they'll, yeah. Thank you.
I was just going to say that what I feel it's the most after writing, especially 6 or even 5, step 5, is stupid. Like I feel
Well, look at what you were thinking and believing. In statement 5, what were you believing?
that this person is just name calling them unreliable, dumb, flaky, and that feels really immature to say.
Yeah, when we look back, you know, that's just courageous of you to write it down. But it's honest. It's like we're going back, we're taking dictation of what we were thinking and believing then. Now, what did you just read? Read it again.
Jordan is unreliable.
Okay, have you met anyone since Jordan that was also unreliable?
Yes.
It's gonna continue. That's the life of a believer. No choice. Any of you meet someone is there anyone here that has never met someone that was not unreliable? Did I say it? Yeah, so it's like a universal belief, okay? So look at the situation with that that unreliable person. Okay, so that person is unreliable. What was the situation? So she lied to you.
She made a commitment to me and didn't keep it.
Okay, she made a commitment to you and didn't keep it. Okay, have you ever made a commitment that you didn't keep?
Yeah.
You
A lot.
Know, we all know you. You're unreliable. You know what that leaves? That leaves no reliable people in this world.
Yeah.
So she's unreliable, but how do we anchor that? We see these images. Who would like to do the work? Okay, so this gentleman, I asked who, and then this gentleman, the first gentleman that stood up, would you like to do the work? Let's do the work. So I invite you to step into my parlor. So in the meantime, while he's being mic'd up to come here, any questions? I don't want to waste not one moment. My time with you, I just value it so deeply. You're free. And then these thoughts cross your head, and you see images of past and future, and you think that that's who you see and what you see, and it's not. Well, it is if you believe it is. So the microphone? Right, yeah.
Can you go into more detail about, like, in the case of someone who's been raped? Like, for number 6, you say, you know, I never want to, and what if the person said, I never want to be raped again? And then at the end of the sheet, you say, go through the work and say to yourself, I look forward to...
As you're talking, do you see images of someone being raped?
Yeah.
Oh, stop that.
Wait, what?
I mean, who brought up... Look what's going on in your head.
Okay.
It's like, I don't ever want to be raped again. Have you ever been fearful that you would be raped?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at what you're thinking and believing, you see an image. When you have fear of being raped, you're watching that image of you being raped, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see that image.
I haven't actually personally been raped, so I don't...
Well, that wasn't the question
okay.
you were answering. You see that image of you being raped when you're fearful of being raped.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. That image, is that you?
No.
Good. So now you know the difference between reality and fiction. What's real and what's not. But we watch it, and it's so powerful, we begin to fear it. This, through our mind's eye, it becomes so vivid, and we don't realize we're watching it, and then we put it on someone. Oh, I'm glad I've never been raped, and oh, that poor thing. And I'm not talking about right or wrong here. I'm just going for the jugular because we don't have much time. We have, we're going to work this all the way through, and I don't want to lead you. Okay, sweetheart, so why don't you sit here, and do you have your worksheet?
It's right there.
Okay, would you? Yeah, well, let's get closer to that. And it's not rape, that's too close to people. It's like this, one of those like taboos. But let's say if someone, so sweetheart, sit right there and I'll join you. And if someone slaps me as hard as they can, why am I so happy? It's over. I'm not crazy anymore. I'm grateful. I'm not grateful that, let's say, he hit me. I'm grateful it's over. If I'm going, oh, he hurt, oh, did you see what, oh, okay, so what's happening in my head? I'm keeping it alive. That's not right or wrong. It's just that I'm believing my thoughts. I'm my own victim, and I'm calling it him. How many of you are okay with this so far? Oh, good. Okay, and if you don't agree with me, he's a terrible person, then you can't be my friend for sure. You're unsympathetic. I mean, I only hang out with people who are sure it's a fearful world. If it's a fearful world, I look to this. The world is perfect. It's what I'm thinking and believing about the world that could use a little work. And I don't call this the work for nothing. You lose your identity here. Every time you sit in yourself meditating on these questions, which we're about to sit in, identity begins to fall away. Okay, so sweetheart, let's do the work. So what did you read for statement number 1? And thank you for being so courageous. Yeah.
My statement number 1 said, I am angry with, can I just call her her?
Yes. I highly recommend it.
Because she abandoned me.
Okay, so
which was-
audience, listen to this as though he wrote it to you. As though he wrote it not to you, but on you. How many of you have ever abandoned someone? Would you raise your hands? Yeah, so he did. Okay. So she abandoned you. And what is the situation?
Girlfriend.
That moment in time that you're meditating on.
Oh, I give her a call, and she tells me, let's wait so we can FaceTime. So when you get off the bike, get home, give me a call, want to check in. Say, okay. I obviously felt something was there, but I like the word check-in. I get home, give her a call, and it was simply put saying, look, I'm not feeling the connection. I think we should break up. And she was on a road trip across the US.
Okay, so you So you're on the phone with her, and she's saying what she did to you, and then you had the thought, she abandoned me.
Yes.
Okay. So in that situation, you're on the phone, the cell phone, are you sitting? Are you standing?
I'm sitting on my bed.
Okay. So you're in the bedroom, on the bed, sitting. Everyone see him in the bedroom? Okay. So if there are 2,500 people here, there are 2,500 different hymns, 2,500 different bedrooms. This is going on all the time. I mean, when you hear someone talk, it's just asleepness. So let's wake up, okay? So in that situation, you're sitting on your bed, and we can all join him there as though it, get as close as you can to it. She abandoned you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true? Now, there are only 4 questions we're dealing with, and the first 2 are simple. They're one syllable. It's either yes or no. And you don't have to guess. You're meditating on a moment in time, and it will show you the answer. So in the bedroom, on the bed, on the phone, she abandoned you. Is it true?
Yes.
So one syllable, that's good. She abandoned you. The first 2 questions used to be 3 questions. But I thought I'd give people another shot at it, so I spread the first one out to 2. It's like, can you really know that it's true that she abandoned you? Now, you consider the same thing. You're on the bed, you hear her words, so it could still be yes. But listen, and don't go into, oh, no, like the answer is supposed to be no. It's not going to work for you. Let it show you. She abandoned you. Can you really know that it's true? Can you absolutely know that it's true she abandoned you?
Yes.
Now, notice on the phone, when you believe that thought, how you react when you believe the thought she abandoned you.
At the time, how I reacted?
Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about emotionally.
I felt that coming.
Where did you feel it coming?
My gut.
In your gut. Okay. So you felt it in your gut.
And when I heard it, it was like instinct was right. And so in a sentence, the situation was we had been together, but then I traveled for a month. And then when I came back, she traveled for 2 weeks. But it was perfect before. But then in between that month and 2 weeks, there was one day where we met. And then when she went over those 2 weeks, she just chose to cut it off because there was nothing going into it.
You're doing everything but answering the question.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, but I can. Thank goodness there's only 4. Let's see. How do you react? What happened? How do you react when you had the thought, she abandoned me?
So
Close your eyes. Get in touch with yourself. And just notice any reactions in your gut.
I was looking for a reconsideration.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her there are 3 things we could do. 1, we could talk about it.
So you began to bargain.
Yes, I bargained.
Yeah. And you continue to have the thought, no matter what you say or do, she abandoned me.
Yeah.
Okay, so ultimately.
Yeah. Ultimately, she did.
Okay, so in that situation, when ultimately she did, how did you react when you believed the thought she abandoned me?
I was calm. I said, okay, bye. And I hung up. And I just was crippled inside a little bit.
So you faked it.
I faked it?
You faked it.
Probably.
We'll go back and see. This isn't my work.
So I didn't tell her, hey, you're abandoning me. I was like, that's your choice.
No, you didn't say it.
No, I
You
did
were
not say
very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
And then
And then it
kicked in.
kicked in, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she abandoned you. Now close your eyes. Look at you on the bed. You see the walls? Any pictures on the walls? Is there a window?
On my left is a window, painting in front of me.
Okay. So just drop, she abandoned me. Drop your story. Look at you. Without the story, are you okay? Is everything good? Other than what you're thinking and believing, look at that guy.
No, I was not okay.
Other than what you were thinking and believing, I see a
Yeah.
man sitting on the bed.
Yeah, but besides that, everything else was good outside of
What
a
you
new
were
missing
thinking and
piece,
believing.
a new reality.
So in reality, you were fine, but what you were thinking and believing was overriding. So you're doing really well, wherever you are. Okay, let's turn around. She abandoned me. So what's an opposite?
She would
What's the opposite of abandon me?
abandon is
She stayed with you.
work out, yeah.
She stayed with you. That's the opposite of
Fix.
abandonment?
For my word was look to fix, look to tie things versus.
Okay, so let's play with, I hear that, because I have more experience here, okay? She abandoned me, she stayed with me. And where I went with that from my own experience is, how long ago did this happen?
3 weeks ago?
Okay, and for 3 weeks she's been in your head. She's
Yes.
staying with you.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she just stays there and she stays there and she stays there and you remain in your bedroom and remain in your bedroom and on the phone call. Anyway, she stays with you for many reasons. Okay, let's look at statement 2.
I want her to be considerate about me and look for ways to fix the relationship.
Okay, and let's see how much time we have. I don't know what that means. We'll keep going. What, honey? Oh, good. Okay, so I want her to be considerate about me and look for ways to fix the relationship. Okay? Is it true? Look on your folders. You know those people you want to come back to you? Really? It's like, I want her to be considerate about me and look for ways to fix the relationship. Is it true? I'd love you to just take that question with you in your life. Is it true? Consider. So you could meditate on, is it true? I want her to look for ways to fix the relationship. You might just meditate on that just throughout an entire day. And notice how you react, what happens when you think that thought. What happens when you think that thought?
But I'd want her to fix things?
Doesn't it take you back to the phone call?
It does.
Yeah, so it puts you back in time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and then the emotions, and you see you there, and you experience the hurt again.
It does, yes.
Yeah. So who would you be if you never had that thought again? I want her to be considerate about me and look for ways to fix the relationship. Imagine your life without that thought.
I'd be freer.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that could be better than a girlfriend. Just freer. And when you're holding that and you meet another girl, well, she doesn't measure up to her, you know. So comparison, you know, every woman is perfect if you don't compare. Isn't that fabulous? I'd love you all to know that if you did not, like, how many of you occasionally find flaws with your body? Would you raise your hand? Okay, if you did not compare, without comparison, do you have the perfect body? I mean, really, no fooling around? So everyone has the perfect body other than what you're thinking, comparison, basically. So I want her to be considerate about me and look for ways to fix the relationship. I want her to look for ways to fix the relationship, turn that portion around. I don't want her.
I don't want her to fix the relationship.
Yes, I don't want her to find ways to fix the relationship. Now, when you turn your judgments around, you find opposites, and it's like trying on a new pair of shoes. You know, does it fit? And you just open your minds and explore it. So knowing her on that one date the way you do, why is it? What is it about that experience that that would make you not want her to fix the relationship?
The fact that the surprise of not knowing when this might happen again makes me not even want to get into it at all.
Yeah. But with her specifically, well, I guess she would fall into that category, huh?
Because she's done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look to leave when there was no argument, nothing concrete outside of young, fleeting discomfort or something, and then just.
Yeah. Okay, so you explore it. So, here's a turnaround. Try this one on. I want me to be considerate about me and look for ways not to fix that relationship with her in my head.
That's true.
So you're easy to deal with than someone that won't speak to you.
I'm easy to deal with.
You're easier to deal with than someone that won't speak to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're into some possibles. And you're handy dandy. You're there with you, you wake up with you, you go to sleep with you, take you to a movie, give you a little lunch.
True.
Company other than what you're thinking and believing.
That's true.
Yeah. But we wake up in the morning with, she left me. You know, not great company. Yeah. Who would you be? What would you be? You know, thoughts aren't necessary. I could say more about that, but I'm going to keep this simple. Let's look at statement 3.
She should be compassionate and consider the great times we had.
So on the phone with her, is that true? That she should be compassionate and consider the great times you had? Is that true?
She wasn't.
Well,
would
let's
have
look at
wished her
it.
to
Is
have
it
been.
is it true that she should be compassionate and consider the great times?
I think it's true, yes.
And did she?
No?
So who needs God when you have your opinion?
Sorry? Who needs God and I have my opinion?
Yeah, it's like she doesn't want to, but I like her. That doesn't matter to me what she wants. Can you hear that? It's like, I don't care what she wants. I want her to be compassionate.
Yes.
I could care less if she doesn't want to be with me. She should
Yeah.
consider the great times we had.
Yes. I see a
I mean,
lack of empathy
there's
here.
something off there. It's hard to convince someone you really like them when that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, who would you be on the phone without her, without that thought about her? That she should be compassionate and consider the great times you had?
So
Who would you be without the thought? Just sitting on the bed without the thought, her on the phone.
again, freer.
Yeah. And hearing her voice as though it were the last sound you'd ever hear of her, and it was. I mean, when you really care about someone, you don't want to miss it. But we're busy. She should be, she should be compassionate and consider great time. So we're not really listening to what could be
Yes.
really important. It's a beautiful thing. Really beautiful thing.
That I'm not listening?
To listen.
It is.
But you were busy believing this. She should be compassionate and
Yes.
consider the great times we've had. So it overrides reality. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I should be. Let's try the opposite. In that situation, I should be. And read what you wrote. I should be compassionate.
Compassionate and consider the great times we had.
Yes. Yeah, but you just want more, more, more from someone that's not going there. We wonder why relationships don't work. We wonder why we're hurt. Like say, no one can hurt me, that's my job. If I'm hurt, I look to me. I've done that. It's what I'm thinking and believing. It cannot be another human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. So let's look at the next one.
I need her to say that we haven't been who we can be and want to be, and that we should take a step back and try again.
So you need her to say that. You're sitting on the bed, she's on the phone, she's telling you her truth. You hear her?
Yes.
And then you believe that, so you need her to say that the two of you haven't been the best you can be together, that you want to be, and should take a step back and try again.
That's what I would have wished to hear.
Yeah. So to be happy, you need that. Is it true?
To be happy, I need that?
Mm-hmm.
No, because there's a bigger world out there, but within that one moment, one reality, if the scope of everything was down to that one relationship, then yes. But
And it wasn't. She's having no piece of it on that conversation.
no,
Okay. So how do you react when you, on the phone, when you believe the thought? Should take a step back and try again, and she's ending it.
Yes.
How do you react?
How did I react?
Uh-huh.
I felt
Disappointed?
yeah, disappointed is a better word.
Disappointed? Okay, so again, who would you be without the thought she should take a step back and try again?
Would I be?
Who would you be?
Would I be?
Yeah. So close your eyes. See you there?
Yeah.
She's saying goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you be without the thought we should take a step back and try again?
Cold-hearted.
Well, what about a really good listener? I mean, that was your last conversation with her, and you say you care about her.
Yeah.
This was just all about you and what you wanted, and you're not listening to this woman.
That's true.
So turn it around. I should take a step back and try again. As opposed to we should take a step back and try again. I should take a step back and try again, listening to her.
But when the conversation ends, which was how I felt after it, like at that moment, try again what?
Well, what about right now? Take a step back and try again. To see it her way, if you care about her. That would be different. That way, if you run into her again and she said, "Oh, how are you? I'm so happy," you can thank you for that. You let her go.
Yeah.
And rather than losing something like it's taken from you, you're giving. The life of a listener, in other words, connected. You know, a man put a gun in my stomach one night, and I was walking on a full moon in the night alone, and I guess I frightened him or something, and I didn't know anyone was for miles. But anyway, he put this gun in my stomach, and it was a full moon. It was so amazingly beautiful, and the clouds, and it was still, and there was a river running, and he pulled the hammer back, and he said, "I'm going to kill you." He wasn't that polite. He had other words with it, too. And I looked into his eyes, and you see, it's like that phone call. It may be the last human being I ever see. Who wants to miss a moment of it? And I could see him. He looked very frightened to me. And I could see the clouds and the moon, and it was an amazing night. It was beautiful. You know, every moment is the last moment of our life, and who wants to miss it? When we're not connected, we're missing it. When we're connected, we're connected. And, you know, I had no idea whether he would pull the trigger or not, because that's not something I could do anything about in that situation. Who knows? You know, I love that question, is it true? And I had it with me. It's user-friendly. So he said, "I'm going to kill you." And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I'm not going to miss that last connection, just like the sound of her voice. And he didn't pull the trigger, but I don't want to miss my life. That's the bottom line. He was a beautiful man, frightened man. No one would harm another human being if they weren't confused, just like she was. Anyway, let's look at the next one. Let's look at statement 5.
She is a coward. She ran away the first chance she got.
Okay, so she's a coward. Is that true?
No.
Okay, you feel that? So nice just to sit in and allow that no to expand you, to show you, to educate you. You know, this is personal work. So she's a coward. How does it feel inside of you when you think that thought? And how do you react on the phone when you believe that thought? She's a coward.
At the time, 10 minutes ago, or just right now?
So, so she's a coward. Let's just turn it around.
Okay.
In that situation, I am.
I'm a coward.
Yeah. So give me an example. Where were you a coward in that situation?
I didn't take the time to deeply understand what it is that had pushed her away or led her to that phone call.
Those are great conversations. Great. Have that conversation with me. You be her breaking up, and I'll be you. You say what she said to me, and we'll have that conversation. You be her breaking up with me.
So I'm going to reenact the scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a moment.
We're about to hear from the cruel coward.
So I'd like to check in on our relationship. I feel that we communicate differently, like different things, and that we just are not connected, and I think it's better if we part ways.
Well, you know, that shocks me. I feel so connected with you. I want this relationship to go on and on and on. So tell me, what is it about me that is there anything about me that I should know? I don't want to pass this on any further.
I can't explain it.
What is it about me that you don't like?
I just feel that after being together for 4 months, that I'd expect to be more connected, but I don't.
Well, you know, that makes sense. I feel more connected, you feel less. Is there anything I can do to change that? Not that I could, but I am interested.
I don't know. I think we communicate fundamentally differently. Come from
You know
very
what I,
different
you know what I
backgrounds.
appreciate about you? You're so straightforward and honest. I really respect that. And I love that you tell me sooner rather than later. I really respect that. So I look forward to us being friends for a long time, and you have my phone number, and you know, what a great relationship we have.
This is exactly how the conversation went. Practically. But here I am, 3 weeks later.
But
Still
the
thinking
difference is you didn't mean it.
That's true.
One of us was honest. Yeah. You know, it's like as human beings, that's the best we've got going for us sometimes is we pretend and we hide our feelings And what I love about inquiry is we collect these thoughts and judgments from our past. And then when we're speaking out of it, we're coming out of something that's authentic. It's real. And I love that for you. Let's look at the last one. Well, you know, she's a coward. She ran away the first chance she got. Let's turn it around. I am a coward.
I'm a coward. I ran away
The first chance I got.
at the first chance I got.
Yeah, she said something you didn't like, and you ran away from that relationship in your heart, in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Precise.
I have another expression. It's no one can leave me. They don't. That just can't happen because they live here. And the heart is a symbol for that. Yeah. No one can leave me. Hold the whole world here. Do you love it yet? That's the only question.
I do.
Yeah. Let's look at the next one, really.
I don't ever want to be surprised by an abandonment.
Okay, I'm willing to. I'm willing to be surprised.
I'm willing to be surprised by an abandonment.
I look forward to.
I can say it, but
Well, it's like I don't ever want to be surprised by abandonment.
yes.
Okay, so if people never abandon you again, which she did not, she told you clearly. But if you ever feel abandoned again, it gives you the opportunity to do another worksheet. It's not done until it's done. If the whole world says we don't like you, we're all that's left of the world, and you're unacceptable, are you happy? That's all you need to know. Are you lonely? Are you alone? But we are who you believe us to be. And if you're lonely, look to yourself. Okay? So I look forward to.
I look forward to be surprised by an abandonment.
Yes, exciting, isn't it?
It's very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just walk through the world, because if it doesn't happen and what you see is the world, it happens here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's written something that they would like to work through quickly, just from your chair? Yes. So if you stand, they can bring you the microphone.
I'm frustrated with her because she won't pay her bills and avoid late fees.
She won't pay the bills, is it true?
Yes.
She won't pay the bills. Can you absolutely know that it's true? You following the questions on your folders?
No.
Okay. So how do you react? Notice what happens when you think the thought, she won't pay the bills. Now, let's really meditate on this for a while. Like, you think that thought right now, she won't pay the bills. It's alive in you, okay? You see images of the past. You see those? Where she's not paying the bills.
Yeah.
Everyone see that? Okay,
Yeah.
you see those images. Now, is that her not paying the bills, or is that pure imagination?
It's a total story.
It's story, yes, but is that her? You see that image of her not paying the bills? Is that her or imagination?
It's imagination. I've never seen
Pure
her not pay the bills.
Okay, and then you see a future where you're going to get a late fee or late fees.
Yes.
Okay, now in your head, is that her or is it your pure imagination? I mean, in your head, in that moment, you're in the past where she hasn't paid the bills, you're in the future, you see the late fees, images of
Right.
past and future.
She's actually not there in the future. No.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
you're
I'm there with my
So
frustration.
you're there in the future,
yeah.
okay? You see that image of you paying the late fees?
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes.
That's
Oh.
you are too big to fit in here.
Right. It's imagination.
Pure imagination. All of you, that is how that's how the ego keeps you identified as a physical body that can never be. I mean, your mind's, it's either remembering or anticipating, so who do you think you are? You believed you in. Not that. So you see that image of you paying late fees? That's not you. Okay, now here's the question. As you witness this dream, this dreamed world, notice how you react. Who's upsetting you? Who's frustrating you? Is it her? Or is it you?
Honestly, I'm getting a little vertigo because I'm realizing that all of my finances are in my imagination.
Pure imagination. And what I'd suggest is like, if you want your bills paid on time, pay them on time, or hire someone responsible, and then they will or they won't pay them on time. But if you pay them on time, the worst that can happen is what you're thinking and believing. If you don't pay them on time, the worst that can happen is what you're thinking and believing. But if you ever want to be like never impoverished again, get free. That's it. That's it. It's like something pays my bills or not, and I do my best. You see it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's total. All, I would say that's all there is or ever will be, and it's not. It's nothing. And it is, and it's not. It's impossible to meditate on a moment in time because you're out of time. The past is not here. The future is not here. So anyway, play with it, my heart.
Thank you.
So, any questions? Yes.
So my question is, I have had the same thought for years.
So, example.
So my
Understand?
Sure. So my thought is, I'm frustrated with myself because I haven't succeeded quickly enough.
You haven't succeeded quickly enough. Mm-hmm. Is that true? That's such a huge one. We love that one.
So I do the work. I've done the work on it. I actually saved the work on it so that I could go back to it.
Okay,
so,
so you're not answering the question.
And
you haven't succeeded quickly enough. Is it true?
No.
Excellent. Thank you. The last you think you're fooling people. There's one people you can't fool. It's you. When you drop into these 4 questions, it is, and you get still with them, you're shown. You don't have to fake it. Here it comes. Get still. witness, watch, and free yourselves or not. Yes. Oh, 0, 0. I know what that means. It's a myth, but it's... So thank you for your patience. And if it's moved a little too quickly, the work is always free at thework.com. And thank you for your focus today. And thank you, Wisdom and Soren and everyone that makes this event possible. Thank you. Thank you.